The last thing you want to hear when you need your auto insurance most is a robot with countless irrelevant menu options. Which is why with USAA Auto Insurance, you'll get great service that is easy and reliable, all at the touch of a button. Get a quote today. Restrictions apply. USAA.
Vitamin Water was born in New York because New Yorkers wanted more. Like more flavor to go with all the flavor. A refreshing drink after climbing 6 flights of stairs to a walk-up apartment, or standing in the subway station in 100-degree heat. Focus when I have an 8-hour shift. And Triple X after I was out all night at a club. Call Triple X. Drink vitamin water. It's from New York.
Hilton brings you new ways to stay. With experiences that let you capture the glory days. Introducing the Graduate Hotels. Each inspired by local college towns, these stays are always original and never boring. Get in touch with traditions all across the country and enjoy a stay that's a class above the rest. Book at Graduate Hotels with Hilton Honors Points at Hilton.com. It's a win-win. Hilton, for the stay.
From the Fifth Quarter Studio in Madison, Wisconsin, you're listening to the Basketball Leadership Podcast. Here are your hosts, Steve Collins and Greg Berg.
Hey, Coach. Welcome to the Basketball Leadership Podcast. I'm so excited you decided to join us. Before we jump into our topic today, I'd like to give a big shout out, first of all, to Coach Berg's website, gberge.gumroad.com. It's got all sorts of free resources, things that you can use, like the 300-hour club, an off-season development program, the preseason checklist, all sorts of great things. And there's some things you can buy as books. Those books are awesome. You can buy the iOS. Everything you need is over there. Go over and check it out. And then go over and check out teachhoops.com for coaches who want to get better. It is the one-stop shop for basketball coaches. It's everything you need, everything I would have wanted in my 20s and 30s. It's got handouts, it's got printouts, it's got videos. It will walk you through this journey we call coaching. And hopefully, like my story, make a losing team into a winning team. So go over and check that out, and let's head off to the podcast. All right, welcome to the Basketball Leadership Podcast. Coach, how are you today?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm all right. I'm intrigued. The topic today, the gatekeepers of culture. So what do you mean by gatekeeper? That's an interesting topic. It's an interesting topic, I think.
So when you think of the culture of a team, I think ultimately it's the number one job of a coach is to create their culture. I mean, and culture is an everyday deal. Like we have to be focused on that each and every day. But then who are the gatekeepers of a culture? And I think first and foremost, the coach is a gatekeeper of the culture, but then the other people, and it really starts with players, and your team leaders are critical gatekeepers, and they are gatekeepers in the locker room, the gatekeepers outside of school. And I want to talk about that a little bit, but also the other people that are gatekeepers of your culture are parents, and the role of parents to be that gatekeepers I've found to be really critically important in a lot of different ways. Obviously, you need administration, you need support from your AD and all of that. But, when you're creating a winning championship type of culture, it's not just you. You as a coach have to set that bar, but you have to rely on so many other people to kind of be a gatekeeper of that culture. And just want to kind of get, talk about that and get your opinion on it.
Before we came on air, we were talking about some of our teams and some of my old teams. And I think back to some of my, I've had some really special teams, and there's two places I think, obviously I probably haven't changed much as far as how I'm gatekeeping.
Yep.
But the special ones, the kids gatekeep, obviously. So it's a team, it's a leader-led team. Yep. I'm telling you, the really special ones is all the parents are on the same page. We're all kind of like, we want to do this, and we want to whatever it's going to take. And, we're all, and, parents are parents. I get it. We all love our kids more than anything else. But the really special groups, You're right. I think it's that triangle. All three of the pieces of the player, the coach, and the parent were all on the same page. It's like magic. It's like lightning in a bottle. It's crazy.
It is. And just like we want our kids to be selfless, we want them to think we over me. We want them to make the right decisions. I don't care what people say. What our parents tell kids at home, it filters to the team. And so if you've got parents that you can trust that are we first people and see the big picture, and they're not just out for their own kid, that becomes contagious.
It does.
In your players and your team and your culture. And if you've got parents that are talking about you getting your shots up, or you doing this or you doing that, no matter how good a kid may be at keeping that up, away from the team, it filters in. And so when we talk about being a gatekeeper, obviously our team leaders and leadership is incredibly important. And the coach ultimately has the number one job with this. We have to, we have to set our culture and build it each and every day. We've got to talk to our team leaders, but it's getting parents on board with that too. And I think there's a lot of ways to do that. You have to be really proactive as a communicator. You got to be proactive at your pack meeting. You can't let things fester if they are, it's just like with kids, you have to confront things head on. And, I just think that concept of being a gatekeeper is one that I really, really like.
Yeah, and I think you're right about that. I think of a lot of young coaches, at least ones that I've mentored, they'll run from, they don't want that. And it's that courageous conversation you got to be able to have with the kids. But to be honest with you, sometimes I got to have it with the parent too. Oh, it's like, if we all want to get on the same page, that is, you're going to ignore it, but it's not going to go away. And when you're saying one thing and they're going home and hearing another thing, that's the heart. We all got to be on the same page. We all got to be beaten the same way,
And I just think our job as a coach is, and this is like over time, like you really have to think everything that I say when I get that opportunity at that parent athlete meeting, or I get that opportunity in a large group where I'm talking to a group of parents, just like when I'm talking to a group of kids or kids one-on-one, I'm building the culture and what I want. I'm shaping them. I'm molding them with this conversation. And we have to use those moments really purposely as a coach, because you are molding how you want your parents to think. You can't control how they think, but the more you talk about team, the more you talk about concepts that are important to you, the more you can kind of shape the culture. And it's a very subtle, it's an art form, I think. It's part of teaching and coaching. It's really important that we don't often think about.
Right. No, and yes, I probably spend more time getting ready for that meeting than anything all year. It's like, I just got to make sure everyone knows, and everyone's in the room and everyone's a stakeholder, and here's what we're going to do. And, it's hard because we all love our kids, and we haven't had this discussion, but when I coach my own, it's hard. Like, you're always a dad or a parent or a mom first.
We could probably do a show on coaching our own kids. We should do a podcast on that.
We should do that.
I'll write that one down.
We should do that at some point. But it's like, there's conflicts there. There's like, I tell people there's like it's like the devil and the angel on each shoulder. It's like, which way am I going to go with? But, no, I think that's important. And I think when initially I thought gatekeeper, everyone's probably thinking, well, how are you dealing with your locker room? Who's your, how are they dealing with the kid that's, complaining and that kind of stuff. Those are all important, but I think overlooked is that parents, guardian factor that, if we don't, we're fighting an uphill battle when we don't have them on the same page as us.
Yeah. And one last piece of that, and it's just give you another angle to it. It's not just parents and kids. I also think of the people that support our program, maybe in the community or behind the scenes. I think we have this guy named Quinn Sweeney who manages our social media account. And the kids know how much that guy puts into our program, and he doesn't have to do or say a lot, but they want to play for him because of what he does. And that's another way that he's a gatekeeper and he doesn't even know it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So those people are important too.
Well, it's like the 17 managers I have or whatever. I'd have to ask Nate how many I have at that point. It's like that is one of the first discussions once I pick my team that we have with the players about, like, let's look at them. They're part of this team. These are all the things that they are sacrificing and doing for you, so you can show them the exact same respect you're showing your parents and me and blah blah blah. It's like we're all on the same. But I agree. It's like, you're not only playing for that, that name on the back, you're really playing for the name on the front.
You bet.
Okay. Anything else, Coach?
No, that's it.
All right. I think that's great. Till next week.
Right. See ya.
Lowe's knows you take pride in every project. So take on what's next today with a free Select Craftsman hedge trimmer or leaf blower when you buy a 20-volt push mower. That's a $119 value on reliable, high-performance Craftsman tools you trust. For the power to do it all, build, repair, restore, maintain, go with Craftsman. Available at Lowe's. We help. You save. Valid through 5/21. While supplies last. Selection varies by location.